The little girl clutched her mother's hand as a luxury sedan rolled to a stop beside a crowded daytime cafe. Inside, a wealthy man sat slumped in the back seat, exhausted and barely conscious after collapsing from stress. The crowd watched, judged, and walked away. Only one lonely single mother stepped forward to help, never imagining that the stranger she was about to drive home would one day transform her life forever. Before we begin, if you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances still exist in this world, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel. Every bit of support helps our family and our community continue sharing stories that inspire hearts around the world. Marissa Holloway had learned that life rarely offered easy choices. At 32, she worked long hours as a rideshare driver while raising her 7-year-old daughter, Hazel. Ever since her husband had abandoned them years earlier, every bill, every school expense, and every unexpected emergency rested on her shoulders. She smiled for her daughter, but behind that smile lived constant exhaustion. She believed that if she kept moving forward one day at a time, life would eventually reward honest effort. That sunny afternoon she had just finished dropping off a passenger near a business district when she noticed a luxury sedan stopped awkwardly near the sidewalk. The chauffeur looked panicked while trying to help his employer, who appeared pale and completely drained. Several people assumed the wealthy man had simply drunk too much during lunch and ignored the situation. The chauffeur explained that his employer, Bennett Mercer, had insisted on attending another meeting despite collapsing from severe exhaustion after weeks of non-stop work. His blood sugar had dropped, and combined with medication and dehydration, he was barely able to stay awake. The chauffeur himself had suddenly become ill and could no longer continue driving safely. They desperately needed someone trustworthy to take Bennett home. Marissa hesitated. She had another ride waiting, and every minute mattered financially. But when she noticed the man's tired face and remembered how strangers had once helped her during her darkest days, compassion outweighed convenience. She carefully helped Bennett into her own modest car while Hazel quietly handed him a bottle of water and a small snack she had saved from lunch. Even in his weakened state, Bennett managed a grateful smile before drifting into restless sleep during the drive. His home surprised Marissa less because of its enormous size than because of its silence. The mansion felt cold, almost empty, despite its beauty. House staff thanked her repeatedly, but she declined every offer of money, explaining that helping someone should never depend on receiving a reward. Before leaving, she wrote a short note asking them to make sure Bennett rested properly and avoided working until he recovered. Then she drove away, believing she would never see him again. 3 days later, Marissa was shocked when an elegant black SUV quietly parked beside her apartment building. Bennett himself stepped out, looking healthier than before but carrying none of the arrogance people expected from a millionaire CEO. Instead, he held a small basket filled with fresh pastries and flowers as a simple thank you gift. He explained that the doctors had confirmed his collapse resulted from months of overworking, skipped meals, and overwhelming stress. Had Marissa ignored him like everyone else, the outcome might have been far worse. Their conversation lasted only 20 minutes, yet Bennett found himself deeply moved by her quiet strength. Marissa never complained about raising Hazel alone. She spoke instead about gratitude, resilience, and teaching her daughter that character mattered more than wealth. Over the following months Bennett found reasons to visit her neighborhood cafe during lunch breaks. Sometimes he brought books for Hazel. Other times he simply enjoyed ordinary conversations that had nothing to do with billion-dollar contracts or business strategies. For the first time in years, he laughed without thinking about quarterly profits. Meanwhile, Marissa struggled with accepting his growing friendship. She worried people would assume she was interested only in his money. Having spent years rebuilding her dignity after being abandoned, she refused to let anyone question her integrity. The greatest challenge came when gossip spread across social media after reporters photographed Bennett visiting her apartment complex. Headlines claimed the powerful CEO had secretly fallen for a struggling single mother. Investors questioned his judgment, while strangers cruelly accused Marissa of chasing wealth she had never asked for. Embarrassed by the unwanted attention, Marissa decided to distance herself completely. She ignored Bennett's messages and focused entirely on work, believing leaving quietly would protect both of them. Bennett respected her decision at first, but something continued troubling him. He realized success had taught him how to build companies, not relationships. For years he had measured life through financial achievements while ignoring loneliness hiding beneath every accomplishment. Instead of sending expensive gifts, he volunteered anonymously at the community center where Hazel attended after-school programs. He repaired broken furniture, helped organize food drives, and quietly donated computers without attaching his name. Marissa eventually discovered his efforts, not through headlines but through grateful volunteers who had no idea who he really was. That was the moment everything changed. She finally understood Bennett wasn't trying to impress her with wealth. He wanted to become someone worthy of the kindness she had shown him on that ordinary afternoon. Months later Bennett invited Marissa and Hazel to visit the headquarters of his company. Rather than showing off luxury offices, he introduced them to a new employee assistance program inspired entirely by Marissa's compassion. The company now provided counseling, flexible schedules for single parents, emergency childcare assistance, and mandatory wellness breaks so no employee would ever collapse from exhaustion the way he had. Standing before hundreds of grateful employees, Bennett admitted that the greatest lesson of his life had not come from business school or corporate success. It had come from a single mother who stopped her car when everyone else kept walking. As time passed, friendship slowly became trust, and trust quietly became love. Bennett never tried to rescue Marissa because she had already proven she could rescue herself. Instead, they built a future based on mutual respect, honesty, and shared purpose. Hazel gained not only a father figure but also someone who encouraged every dream she dared to imagine. Years later, Marissa often smiled whenever she remembered that ordinary afternoon outside the cafe. She had believed she was simply helping a stranger reach home safely. She never imagined that one simple act of kindness would lead both of them toward the home they had each been searching for all along. Before this story ends, tell us in the comments, have you ever experienced a small act of kindness that completely changed the direction of your life? We'd love to read your story. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. Sometimes, the greatest blessings begin with one selfless decision made when nobody is watching, proving that kindness always finds its way back home.